This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The following will contain strong language, adult themes, and Mara. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, were you saying it's Nelle?
Hi guys, what's goody? It's Tammie.
Hey, it's your girl Mara.
And this is the Not Too Much podcast. If you know,
You know.
Guys, I don't even know how to start this one off. I feel like usually I do like a nice little, hi, how are you? Wellness check and stuff like that. But realistically, it's about to be intense today, so I might as well just get into it.
Intense?
Let me ask the question and then you know what I mean. Like,
Ooh.
The question to start us off today is, does having an ugly personality make you ugly?
Yeah.
Oh, that was quick and very to the point.
Do you have no?
Yeah.
Do you?
I have a mix. I'll get to
No binaries.
it. No binaries.
Well, I'm saying yeah.
Why are you saying yeah?
Because it just is. It's actually a fact.
Oh, you don't want to
Oh,
elaborate?
like it's just...
No, that's it. I'm done. Bye.
That's it. That's the
Clocked
quickest.
out.
What's understood doesn't need to be explained, apparently. Now, why are you in the middle, girl?
Everyone's looking at me like Tammie's looking at me really scary.
I can't look at you.
She's got her hands on her knees and she's just staring at
like
me.
expectantly. Like, yeah. Say your piece, man.
I agree. Having an ugly personality does make you ugly because I feel like generally it tends to disfigure your face. When people
Disfigure is a very strong word.
No, but like when you have that bad personality, even though you may be like conventionally attractive, because you just change the energy and vibe so much, I genuinely feel like it actually disfigures how people see you.
No, it's true. I feel like my perception of you is a bit distorted after that.
Yeah.
Because...
Oh, wait, I thought... Sorry. I thought you meant to show the perception of you now. I was like,
No,
you're looking rude.
No, girl, you're beautiful. No, my whole thing is like, I think, especially when I think going to people's behavior and how they come across and their just general comportment. Like, if you leave a sour taste in my mouth, I tend to like wince when I feel like I either imagine you in my head or I'm seeing you.
But what I will say, and I'm just trying to be objective here, some people have ugly personalities, but they're not ugly.
Yeah.
Like, you
but
just
the
have to be real.
thing is, listen, when the looks fade, because they will.
I don't
Eventually
think,
they
I don't think
Then the
it's about
personality.
being ugly per se. I do think that it's all about perception. I do think having an ugly personality doesn't mean you're going to be straight up. Like, if you're actually attractive, conventionally or whatever, just subjectively to me, it's not going to make you go from that to the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh.
But my thing is...
You bring up a good point.
My thing is, though, it will... Whatever you initially were in my perception, I think it's my reaction to you.
Like it's kind of grossed out.
Yeah.
But
Which
then,
kind of has the, I guess, the effects of seeing something that is displeasing to you.
Okay then, so if you guys are saying that, I'm gonna just throw a question out there then.
Yeah.
So, would you date objectively
Why are you saying that?
would you date an
wild.
objectively ugly person if they had a banging personality?
They could be my friend.
We've
So
talked
you-
about
oh,
this.
okay,
you know
wait.
what? I've
Romantic
now you need to
relations.
stop this nonsense. Mara has just asked you a very direct question. Talking about friendship nonsense.
They could be my friend.
No.
Besties.
No.
Okay, let me be serious.
Like, for real. Because she does this. You can be my friend. Oh, that's sweet. No.
To be fair, I feel like I have friends with everyone. I think in general though, look, this is just my opinion. Nah, you can crucify me. Please don't, actually. But I do feel like, you gotta be with someone you're attracted to. Hear me
It's
out.
all about chemistry. I'm so sorry.
Yes, that. But like, if you're not attracted to someone yet, and you start to become blind to your reaction.
Why is corporate Erin back in the room?
No, but like, okay, let me actually just make this a bit clear because I'm rambling. But when you date someone romantically, now, you are either attracted to them or you're not. If you're not attracted to them and their personality starts to like trump how you see them and it starts to make them more attractive, you become blind to the initial perception that you had of them.
That's what.
Okay, fine. When you guys start beefing or you have a little disagreement or whatnot,
they go back down in the estimation.
Suddenly their real face is showing again.
Oh!
All I'm saying is you've got to really appreciate what you saw in that person initially.
Do you believe in the changing state of attraction?
What?
I do.
Like with someone you're willing to wait until you find them attractive if their personality's that good.
Hold on. There are some people, and this is just my opinion, right? There are some people that you can see as conventionally attractive, but you're not attracted to them. However, when you spend more time with them, you start to see.
But I'm not talking about them ones.
That's the only one I
love how Nelle picks a targeted group.
No, because if you don't find them attractive, right, but they have a banging personality, I'm not saying you shouldn't go for them, but right? I'm just saying do your thing. But personally, like me, I just feel like if I'm not attracted to you, then I think we can be great friends because intimacy can come in different forms.
Yes, I do agree with that.
Oh, yeah, but
your quickness to assign them to friends, why can't they just be?
No, because if you've got a banging personality, then I want you around me.
Banging person. Well, I think I'm seeing it in two ways. Okay. Banging personality objectively, but it's just like it doesn't add anything to your life.
Oh, I'm thinking of it. If I think you have a great personality, it's normally because I want to be friends with you.
Okay.
Whether I want to take that to a romantic level or whatever.
What if they want to take it to a romantic level?
Well, I'm just going to say that we can't.
What if they corner you and like, I know I'm not the best.
You?
I know I'm not.
What's going on?
People move mad in this like, oh, I know I'm not like the most I hate when people do that. I know I'm not the most attractive. Yeah.
What have you been through?
No, I'm just saying like when people I've told you this before, not this exact phrase, but when people like undersell themselves and that in front of
Wait, but no, yesterday we watched the Ugliest Man video. Wait, no, hold on. You know that viral video on like that Never Give Up channel or whatever he made, and it was a man, he's at convention, he's ugly, but
you're really strong. Just say how you feel.
He is like objectively like not the best looking, and he was talking about like his experience of like trying to get like a girlfriend as an ugly person, and he was like he knows he's ugly, and like he said well, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie,
he said some problematic.
He was very problematic.
He said like the type of women that, like I don't even want to repeat it, but like
he said he was going for people with big lips and big noses,
and not just that, handicap. It's not funny, like you both laughing. No,
it's like it's actually not funny because it's so ableist.
We're gonna get cancelled.
No, because my sympathy,
ableist.
you know what's really annoying?
What?
Like, I can't believe, because he was calling himself like outright ugly, like I had the most sympathy for him.
I did not.
And then when he started going into detail about, oh, you know, like even I thought, like almost like he feels like he has to pair ugly with ugly. So girls that imagine that though, the thought process. Like, he's not even going for you because he finds you attractive. He's just like, he thinks you're ugly enough that you won't reject him.
Like, you know, it's fucking rude.
And then the type of girls he deems as ugly, I said, you're tapped.
Yeah. Look, ultimately, that guys, this was just a white man. So realistically, my
sympathy
was capped.
Yeah.
He looks it.
It was just a dim room.
No, but what was the original question again?
But did he have an ugly personality?
Well, it showed through a little bit.
He had an off.
But then he got a wife.
Yeah, and the wife that he married.
She's a bit lang still.
She was alright. She was really alright.
Like conventionally.
And they were on holiday, and there was one picture, and Nelle said he looks good from that angle. He looks better.
Wait, so doesn't that prove the question?
But what?
Oh wait, he's ugly with an attractive personality. Oh wait, hold on.
Attractive personality.
Well, to her. But initially, okay, she became his wife because she commented on the video and she was like, oh, I think you're kind of cute. So she never had that initial, oh, fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? She never had the initial, yeah. So actually, maybe your theory is right.
Yeah, if you find someone attractive, you'll go for that.
So
well, not
attractive,
like,
the idea of attraction, it is subjective. It is down to you.
Yeah,
Like,
it's down to the person.
Realistic. I know we have understandings of conventional attractiveness, which is present, but two things can be true at once, and two things can occur at the same time. We have people who are conventionally attractive, and then there's also a scale of attraction. I think it's more so of a spectrum. Like, you're not just that and that. Like, it can vary in terms of how attractive a person might find you, despite you might be possibly conventionally attractive in realm of society.
Yeah, and like, guys, honestly, just like, do your vibe.
I don't think they weren't doing that prior.
No, but like, don't force yourself to go for someone if you don't find them attractive, because I feel like ultimately, think about the consequences of that.
That they'll grow on you. I don't like.
No, also, sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's a power play. People like to get with people who are less attracted to them because they're like, oh, at least the other person is punching.
Yeah,
and
I'm out of their league.
So I don't feel, they don't feel insecure.
And that is something you need to do.
That's not very nice, guys. We have to be a bit more kind in this world.
Yeah, because the girl, like, even though like it was very peaked that boy in the video, that man in the video said that his girlfriend, like, at the time made him walk like a feet behind him. I thought that was so peak. No matter how ugly a person deems you, that is absolutely disrespectful. You're a human being, bro.
Guys, like, when me and Mara are laughing, like, we're not laughing at him. I think we're just laughing at the absurdity.
No,
like, it is absurd.
It was, and the way that it's so casually, oh yeah, I had to walk behind her.
Yeah.
Fucking stand up. Well,
no, sorry, I didn't mean.
Like, guys, we're genuinely, like, we're good people. Like, we're not making fun.
It's not about being a good person. I think I'm just saying.
Hold on, here it is. We are good
I'm
people.
a good person.
No. I don't think I'm not a good person. I just mean it's not about that, what I'm trying to say. But I just do think, like, listen, treat people like human beings. Don't treat them more or less than just because you find them.
Yeah, because if she didn't find him attractive, then why would you be with him in the first place, making him walk behind you? You know how degrading that is to a person.
Oh, you've spoken like 50 miles per hour.
That makes her uglier. I don't even know what that girl looks like, but that makes her uglier in my mind.
Do you see what I mean?
The way that she's acted.
But she was down to fuck.
Mara!
We've got to cut this here.
For goodness sake. Yeah, you guessed it. We're back for another promo break, guys. Hope you've been enjoying the episode so far. You know the drill. You could probably say it for me. Make sure you follow us on our social media accounts at NTM Pod on Instagram and at the NTM Podcast on TikTok. But as well as that, you should know this by now. You should be listening to us on your streaming platform of preferred choice and giving us a 5-star review. Come on now, it makes sense. Oh, that's it from me. On with the show. Well, the first half of today's episode was quite loaded, quite heavy. It's only about to get heavier.
Oh.
Realistically, today's not a light episode, okay? The next question I have to ask you people is, can you ever truly be healed?
Oh, gosh.
And it's so funny segueing from, like, the previous conversation we've literally just had.
Because he had to heal.
Let's stop talking about that. Like, let's actually just cut that combo loose.
You know.
No, but people have to heal from stuff.
Because he was using that as an outlet of, like, expressing what...
He says now he's truly healed. But can anybody be truly healed?
No.
Okay. Well,
it's such a long journey that I feel like it's ongoing that I don't feel like someone could say it so absolutely.
Can we clarify? Healed from what?
Healing. I feel like you can be healed in small segments.
Yeah.
Like in tiny little things, because you kind of work through like a process.
When you unpack a situation.
So you can unpack one small thing. But once you heal one small thing,
it
you've got about 50 other things to kind of...
It's just a long queue that I feel like... sorry. I might have said something about myself. Long queue. Like, I mean, I feel like I said, it's just an ongoing process. But I do still, in fairness, I do believe people... in terms of big situations, you break it down, you unpack it, there's a level of unpacking, and in order to be able to process the next part of whatever it is you've gone through, I do think there needs to be focusing on one thing at a time, being comfortable enough to transition from that said thing to that. So that is almost like you've healed in a sense, healed enough to be able to go on to the next part, but not healed in totality.
It's a journey with no destination.
Yeah, that's the thing. To suggest that you are a healed person, it almost feels like you are suggesting that there is a point in life where you are suddenly completed. Like, that's it. Like, you are just... And it's like, no.
And life is ongoing.
Well, maybe when you're dead.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the end.
That's the destination.
I feel like there are too many factors, changing factors, because you said life is ongoing, right?
Yeah.
There are too many changing factors that mean that even though you've got childhood stuff to heal, you also have teenage stuff, then young adult stuff, then
elderly stuff.
And it's like, it's an ongoing thing that loops back around, and that's not a bad thing.
It's not bad.
Good.
It's not bad, because also, like, we need to, I think, put less pressure on individuals to be all the way completely healed to be able to continue with life. Life continues whether you like it or not. It continues in tandem with healing.
Yeah.
Not that one thing, your life is, at a halt, then you heal, then it continues.
Yeah. 100%. Because I personally believe that we're spiritual beings taking on a human experience. And in that journey, I don't think healed is a term that comes with that. We're supposed to experience things like love, sadness, happiness, pain. None of those things result in a completed, healed person. I don't think that's the purpose.
And I feel like sometimes it can get to the point, I think, because if you're not careful, I think people's understanding of what healed looks like can almost be taken as something to apply to everyone when that's not the case. Healing is your own individual journey. And I think often people do like threads or posts or stuff like that of like, how to know when you're completely healed and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, well, that might be for you or for one individual, or that might be applicable to one thing, but that's not applicable to everything and not everyone.
Yeah, I think when I think about healing as a process, my current aim is to get comfortable in the process. But also my end goal is not completion. And I figured that out when I saw, Candice from Closet Confessions. She had like a TikTok or like a piece of content where she was like, she feels very content.
Oh yeah, I know
life.
what you're talking about, yeah.
And it kind of clicked for me that what I'm reaching for, what I'm working towards is for that feeling of contentment in my life. And content is not the same as feeling complete.
Exactly.
You're just content. And there's something just peaceful about that you can just sit in that feeling and just be embraced by it. But you don't get there by thinking you need to be healed.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think, like you said, it's all about, because I think what every stage of healing teaches me is not how to necessarily navigate the whole of my life and the whole of the healing process. It's just how to embrace it more. Because like I said, I think people tend to think about more so the things that have happened before them or before that point, what they've got to heal from. But you never know what's going to happen the next day that might require a bout of healing. Like I said, life is ongoing and new things will happen in your life. And also the thing is that you're also learning, especially when you're unpacking maybe like trauma or difficult situations, triggers. And you don't know all your triggers, and you don't know all your pressure points, and you don't know all the understandings for why you feel this way. You learn that with time. Healing is like learning, and I never feel like you finish learning in this life.
No, you don't.
But I also feel like you have to, everyone starts off with the goal of being healed. Yeah. And it's a sort of tricky phase that you have to go through so you realize why that isn't a goal.
Yes.
You have to go through the mental anguish that comes from why am I not healed yet?
The struggle.
To realize that you can never be healed. Then you got to get comfortable with that idea.
You know,
oh gosh, it's so long, isn't it?
It's so long.
And I feel for people who, in a sense, because I've had to go through this in life where I feel like when I was younger, I said to myself, oh, I can't let certain things in until I've healed. Not knowing, like, my friend once told me, like, basically in terms of friendships, where I was like, oh, before I really take on another friendship or like form a deeper relationship, I need to heal first. And then my friend told me, like, listen, even your idea of healing sometimes can be a bit too rigid. Like, that could be one component of it, like might needing to heal alone. But you never know when other people might aid your healing in that sense. So I think in stopping yourself from doing things for the sake of, oh, you need to heal completely before you do the next thing. I feel like that's also a process that you have to learn how to let go and just let what needs to be, because you might need said thing as a part of your healing process.
I do think for people who tend to be goal-oriented anyways, healing is tricky because you want to be successful at something.
Yeah, and you see that as something that's holding you back.
Because I know that I'm a very impatient individual. And so if I'm not over it in 0.00001 seconds, I'm like, well, we've got to speed this up.
You know, and you can't force healing.
You can't force healing, and you can't force revelation.
No. Because then you end up, I think, because pressure doesn't always make a diamond, like you end up sometimes almost doing more damage to yourself in that process. Because you're pushing for something that should just come naturally, or you need to at least take a less of I'm going to use the word forceful for lack of a better word, but for like a forceful stance, like trying to trigger something. Sometimes you can't trigger your own healing, you just got or your own revelation in a sense.
We both looked at Mara like...
I know. I want to hear what she got to say.
Nothing?
No, I was just listening. No, I don't know. I did have thoughts, but they've gone. I'm just here.
It's a very, like, I don't know, it's a conversation that's very introspective. And it's one that you can easily kind of... I can associate with, like, a floaty feeling. Like, when I think about it, sometimes I think it's also the ambiance that has been set in this room right now. I want to just tell you guys, like, we're sitting here, it's nighttime, it's dark in Nelle's room, it's got a lamp in the corner, and then she's got, what do you call this lamp?
It's like an LED lamp.
An LED lamp, and I feel like I'm in a very, like... Zen state.
I try my best to be grounded in my bedroom.
Oh, I was about to say, like...
I like ambiance. I like peace.
Oh?
I like rain noises.
She does.
And soft lights. Not the big one. The little one. Because I hate when people put the big light on. But in terms of healing...
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. Why did you go on that spiel? And it was like, in terms of healing...
But I realised...
Healing or...
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
go on.
No.
Oh, no. I was going to say, like, looking at yourselves now at this point... how have you felt about, like, your healing journey so far? Why are you laughing?
I don't think it's one I intend to embark on.
Obviously, yeah.
Like a healing journey, like no, I'm actually...
Did you fight it?
No, I mean, like, I don't intend to
like, currently present
heal.
Tense.
Yeah. I just think
do you think it's still happening though?
Yeah, but not in the way that healing is perceived by everybody else. Because I'm just like, realistically, I think being healed or healing just opens more holes, because like that post by Candice, it's almost like people assign it with contentment, and that's just not how it goes. Like, I don't think the whole concept of it is contentment. In fact, I feel like the rigidity around it basically makes you actually more anguished.
So which
is why I never intend to heal.
It's never an intentional of a consequence of things happening. Okay. I think for me, there have been things where I've recognized needs more attention.
Yeah.
At certain points. It's never really, again, I don't think I would ever class it as healing in the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe in hindsight, it can be like that was a sort of part of the bigger, wider healing journey for me. But it's normally me trying to understand why I'm feeling something.
Yeah, I agree.
And then it leads to, I guess, clarification.
I think that's sometimes something that is more of a direct result of what I see from looking back at moments of healing more so than like contentment. I think what you brought up, like clarity. Sometimes I'm not trying to be overly positive about the situation or the journey itself or overly negative. Sometimes I'm like, it just was what it was.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point that you brought up. I think sometimes the word healing gets swept up in the kind of toxic positivity wave. Healing isn't positive or negative. It's what you make it. And sometimes when you're healing, you're going to bring up really negative situations for yourself. Because you've got to trust your intuition, but sometimes your intuition's wrong. So something that you think is going to help you in the long run ends up causing more problems for you. And sometimes it helps you. So it's kind of a trial and error thing that I'm too young to say if it ever stops being trial and error.
Yeah. That is true. We are very young as well.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like it's just a process that people usually assert like a certain emotion to. But actually, when you strip it all back, it actually just is something that happens. It just is.
It's just you living. Often. Yeah. But I do think I fight it a lot less than I used to. When I realise that there are times that it's like happening, like I can feel myself approaching a shift or needing or entering that phase in my life. I know in my adolescence and in my childhood, it was something that I fought a lot more. And I think it's because I said often that this has no place in my life right now. That especially in a toxic sense, I was very focused on my education, focused on school, my extracurriculars. I think I took that to such a level where I was like, I don't have time to hold space for myself to heal. Like I've often said, like something has to finish first before you even have time. And I've only ever actually like considered that past this degree. When I graduate, that's probably the first time I've ever thought about like actively having space for myself to really heal and consider my how to aid myself in that healing journey. Before I said I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that.
I do get what you mean though, because sometimes like you can be aware in the moment that like, oh, I feel a type of way about this and it's probably because of something much deeper than what actually did trigger me. And then like it's a reflecting thing that it's something to put in the back of your mind to reflect on later. But sometimes you do have to be in a certain space because otherwise you will actually just project emotions onto it and it actually ends up twisting the reflective period. So I understand what you mean, like sometimes you do have to be like,
it's an element of that, but sometimes I think I can recognize that there are times where I've tried to, I think maybe compartmentalize is the word, but I do think I can recognize in hindsight where it's been just clear-cut avoidance. And that's a different thing.
I think you guys brought up very interesting points. I guess for me, when I kind of visualize healing, I visualize the fact that there are wounds. And you can treat wounds in many different ways. And sometimes it'll be successful, sometimes it won't. Sometimes you need the right environment. You've got to go to the hospital or A&E, or sometimes you can go to your GP. Or you can do it at home and self-soothe. I think identifying what the wound is and how significant it is to you at this moment, and if you have the time, the energy, the patience to treat it. Sure, but only you can know what is accessible to you.
Yeah, that is true. Because like, well, for me, I have to definitely, I'm a writer, I have to reflect and write stuff down. But if in that moment I'm not in the right head space or like environment, then I don't, like, I can't get to the wound.
I'm a verbal processor. Like, I have to kind of almost, when actually my mind isn't like moving like 50 million miles an hour, like actually like record myself breaking it down, understanding, or despite my reluctancy to have a second party to verbally process my thoughts with.
I have video journals. So I do my video journals and I talk to myself. And I just break it down. And I look back.
I look back. See, this is the thing with me that I think sometimes I'm so fixated on a release that once it's there and it's done, my fear is going back to like said audio file and stuff like that, because there's sometimes where I bring it up and I'm like, I do not recognize this person.
Oh, there are some there are certain moments in recent history, I will say, that now that I'm in a different mind, just in a different headspace, and I've like taken the time to look back, especially in the new year.
Yeah.
I went through all of my video journals from 2020.
That's a lot.
The whole shebang.
Oh, God.
From January to December.
And they're not short.
Oh, some of them are like 15 minutes long.
You know?
And I sat through them and I took notes, and I realized that, yes, I evolved as an individual, as a friend, as a sister, daughter, etc. But I realized where I was stagnant. And where I was comfortable being stagnant.
That's another bit.
I think sometimes we prioritize growth to a detrimental state.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm happy I've retained certain aspects of me in this area of my life. I'm happy that certain things didn't change.
Yeah.
I'm happy that January me didn't get what she wanted in certain aspects. And I'm happy that she did in some. Sometimes you gotta reflect.
Reflection is important though, because I feel like if there's like different versions of you during your healing journey, and sometimes, well, for me, I have to look back, because once I like get through something, I forget. I'm like, oh, okay, that was calm, that was cool, whatever. And then I was like, come across a situation where I'm triggered again, and I'm like, what? And then I have to go through the whole thing again, and I'm like, oh, but realistically, if I just reflect, I'm like, oh, okay, it helps me manage future situations, because again,
it's true.
Healing, not healed. So it's like you're still gonna get triggered. Like, I can't walk around like fucking Miss Happy Sunshine.
Exactly.
So
it's not sustainable.
No. So then when I have, with reflection, I'm able to look at situations and understand how to approach them better.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I just forget.
Yeah. I love it.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I love a bit of reflection, because I was writing an essay not too long ago which kind of delved into the kind of psychology behind reflection, and there was a particular scholar who referenced that, in their own opinion, you're unable to arise from situations if you do not sit in discomfort, an opportunity to hold yourself accountable, being able to understand what must change and what must stay. And reflection is the vehicle that allows for that, the space that allows for that. So I feel like reflection is such a necessary part of like human development.
But I also, this is a really quick side note, because we're talking a lot about like healing for ourselves, but I also believe that everyone has a gift or ability to heal others in any medium or form that relates to their passions, interests, or just abilities.
And their presence, honestly.
Yeah, genuinely, if you encounter everyone, there is something about everyone that is truly healing.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Sometimes it is helpful to figure out what that is for you.
Yeah.
Because you help other people out, but you will help yourself.
And that requires a level of like, also interesting in that journey, decentering yourself. Because I think we live in a society where it's very easy to fixate on oneself and like, just be very self-concerned. And I think when it comes, you've brought up a really interesting point, when it comes down to like healing and progression and like growth, it very much reflects on an individual experience. But I like how you kind of related it to other people, because I think what's always an interesting point of time is like either towards the end of a year or at a birthday. Like I just recently celebrated a birthday, and I realized in a lot of birthday messages that people were communicating to me, what I could actually say is like a level of how our friendship has healed them, or something that I have brought to their lives has healed them in a way, which is super heartwarming to hear, but it's also very refreshing mindset when you realize like, well, damn, it's not just about my healing, or it's not just my healing that's taking place here.
I think why it's so refreshing is because this journey of healing, or trying to become quote unquote healed, it's almost like there's a narrative. It's like, shut the world out, shut your friends and family out, and just focus on you and do you, blah, 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 blah.
Hermit mode.
Yeah. And that's all well and good, but like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it takes a village.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just need your soul tribe to like stand up around you and help. Like, and you also exchange that as well back to them. I do think we just live in a world where we're very focused on the individual, but that's not what gets you through most things in life.
True. I think also, as well as like sometimes valuing or overvaluing the individual, we also in turn undervalue community. Because I was talking to someone today and I was like, I think for a lot of us, especially I can speak from a cultural sense, like our understanding of community, at its first looks was through the eyes of our parents. Seeing the communities that they've like built here, like having to come from completely different countries and really build roots and have to heal their own selves in that sense through way of community. So, I think that's also a societal journey that we have to take.
Because it's like those, have you seen those TikToks where people be like, oh, just trigger warning, mentioning of suicide, but like those TikToks where people will be like, oh, just like spent like a day with my friends, I don't want to kill myself anymore.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, when you really unpack that statement,
there's truth to a lot of jokes. Like
you needed that community, you needed your friends, your tribe to kind of
feel less alone,
lift you up a little bit, and also remind you of the joy and hope that's outside of your limited worldview. What a deep one.
I know.
Went from ugly personalities and people.
I'm happy it had ended on this note rather than on the other note.
Well, I wouldn't mind either one.
Well, I've been Nelle.
I've been Tammie.
And I've been Mara.
And this has been the Not Too Much podcast. If you didn't know before,
you know now.
Mama said, you're a pretty girl. What's in your head? It doesn't matter. Brush your hair, fix your teeth. What you wear is all that matters. Just another stage. Imagine the pain away. This time I'm gonna take the crown without falling down, down, down. Pretty horse, we shine the light on whatever it was. Perfection is a disease of a nation. Pretty horse, pretty horse, pretty horse. We shine the light on whatever's worth. Perfection is a disease of a nation. Pretty hurts, pretty hurts. We're not calling you ugly,
No.
but you may be.
Oh.
We don't know that.
Have a banging personality.
If you have any queries or any questions about your personality, then send it into the NTM podcast. Because we need content and we're low-key exploiting you.
What? Gmail.